Hello, adventurers. I'm Mohammed from Trip Tours and Beyond. We are kicking off the 2024 camping season with a fantastic trip to Caledonia State Park in the state of Pennsylvania. In this video, I'll share all the details you need to know from my personal camping experience to the incredible nearby attractions that you won't want to miss. Plus, I've got some top tips and tricks to help you plan your unforgettable adventure, so be sure to watch the video till the end. Day 1. Caledonia State Park is located between the Chambersburg and Gettysburg. The park's roughly 1,125 acres and sits the south of the Blue Ridge Mountains. The Caledonia State Park offers many activities for people of all ages, like the Totem Playhouse, the theater that holds productions for children, and the park's unique Sunday school. The park also has a small museum about forestry and history, and each year in July, an arts and crafts festival is held. The park is home to two campgrounds that offer tent and trailer sites. The camping season opens the day before the trout season and ends in December. We decided to do our first camping of 2024 in the Chinquapin campground in the park. The campground is located on the side of the mountain among plenty of shady trees, and is very close to the park swimming pool. The campground has non-electric sites, and 18 full hookup sites. The park's amphitheater is in the camping area and is accessible to the public from the day-use parking area. Pets are prohibited in this campground specifically, though the second campground named the Hosack Run Campground is pet-friendly. We reached the Chinquapin campground Friday, basically just set up our tent, and now as you can see I'm making this cool pizza for dinner. It took some time to make, but I finally got a hang of it and it tasted very good. Shortly after eating, we discussed for our plans for the next day at the warm campfire. Day 2 began with a quick breakfast of tea and toast, and then we set off for a kayaking adventure on the Shenandoah River. It was a 70-mile drive south from the campground, and upon arrival at the rental place, we wasted no time grabbing our kayaks and hitting the water. We paddled 1.5 miles upriver, aiming for the Warren Dam, and the morning offered calm winds and high water levels, making for smooth sailing. However, as we neared the dam, the winds picked up and we encountered some rapids that forced us to turn back. And before we knew it, our 3-hour kayaking session was over, and so we all paddled back to the launch area. Our next stop was Harpers Ferry National Historical Park. This historic town sits at the picturesque confluence of the Potomac and Shenandoah rivers. There's a park entrance fee of $10 per person or $20 per vehicle, but luckily our America the Beautiful Pass granted us free access. We parked near the visitor center, hopped in a shuttle to reach the heart of the town, and we explored the historic lower town along the Shenandoah Street. Soaking in the atmosphere, we also paid a visit to the John Brown Museum and the Industrial Museum to delve deeper into the town's rich history. Finally, we made our way to the Point, a scenic overlook where the mighty Shenandoah and Potomac rivers meet, marking the borders of the 3 states, West Virginia, Virginia, and Maryland. To cap off the day, we enjoyed a walk on the Appalachian Trail footbridge and a portion of the Maryland Heights Trail. This pedestrian bridge connects Harpers Ferry and the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal National Historical Park, otherwise known as the C&O Canal Towpath. The bridge also connects the Appalachian Trail from the state of West Virginia to the state of Maryland. Soon we arrived back at our camp, and it was gonna rain, so we set up 2 canopies to protect us from the rain. For dinner, we decided to make burritos. Burritos is one of our favorite Mexican dishes, though we did have to carry a bunch of things like the meat, the bread, and then also the items for the salad. After eating, we sat at the campfire and discussed plans for the next day. Day 3, fueling up with waffles and coffee, we embarked on a journey to Gettysburg National Military Park, which is just a mere 17 miles from our campsite. Our exploration kicked off at the park's visitor center and museum, where the building itself is free to enter, but for a deeper dive into history, you should consider buying tickets for the museum, exhibits, film, and cyclorama. Details of that are coming up later. Stepping inside the Gettysburg Museum of Civil War, we were surrounded by artifacts from the battlefield and stories of the soldiers who fought there. Interactive exhibits and multimedia displays brought the Civil War era to life, from its origins to the aftermath of the brutal Battle of Gettysburg. Then we visited the cyclorama, which holds the world's biggest painting. And then after that, with newfound knowledge, we embarked on a self-guided tour of the battlefield itself. After a busy Gettysburg excursion, we fired up the grill and savored a delightful dinner at our reserved picnic shelter back in Caledonia State Park. We enjoyed our time with family and friends until our barbecue chicken was finally ready. Here's the beautiful creek, which is right next to the picnic shelter. After having a fun time, we returned to camp because we had to set up another tarp since it was going to rain. Day 4. This was the last day of our camping, so we decided to take a short hike to the Appalachian Trail's half point. We packed up our tent and rolled out of the campground. Unfortunately, when we reached there, it was raining very hard, so we were not able to do it. However, our next stop was the Appalachian Trail Museum. The Appalachian Trail Museum is located inside a 200-year-old gristmill in Pine Grove Ferry State Park and is located near the midpoint of the 2,180-mile Appalachian Trail. The museum is located to two popular AT hiking stops, the Pine Grove General Store, where it's a tradition to eat a half-gallon of ice cream, and the Iron Master's Mansion. The museum is the only museum in the country dedicated to hiking, and it preserves the history and the physical, emotional, and spiritual human experiences of the Appalachian Trail. The museum features changing exhibits, a through hiker photo of 10,000 AT hikers, hikers lounge, and a storytelling center. The ground floor of the building has been transformed into a children's area, which features a cement floor painted with a children's version of the Appalachian Trail and beautiful panels for children to follow along the route to educate them. This amazing spot was the final highlight of our unforgettable camping trip, and on our way back, we were already dreaming for our next trip.